Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Jamie, and I'm with Paul Hanson Partners. Today, we are happy to have Aaron and Ryan here with us from Fleetmode to discuss their products. I would like to let everyone know who's listening that you do have a chat option to enter any questions that you may have about our webinar, and we will try to get to as many of them as we can and answer them at the very end. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and pass this over to Aaron with Fleetmode.
Thank you, Jamie, and thank you everyone out there for taking time out of your day to hear about a solution to help reduce distractions in your work vehicles. Fleetmode is a product that is going to reduce accidents in fleets, which is going to help you reduce your claims and prevent possible insurance increases and even potential lawsuits. First, let's talk about how big of a problem distracted driving really is. Distracted driving is an epidemic that really just has no end in sight. When you drove into work today, did you see anyone looking down at their phones and maybe even swerving, distracted because of it? I see it every single day in my commute multiple times. It could be a teenager on their phone, Snapchatting away, or it could be grandma trying to FaceTime with her grandkids. It's just becoming an all too common problem, and it doesn't just affect the everyday person out there. It affects businesses very much so. As the younger generation is transitioning into the workforce, the amount of accidents is expected to rise. Having grown up with a phone essentially attached to their hand, it becomes a lot more difficult to separate them from their mobile devices, even when they're driving. Did you know when you're using a cell phone while driving, you're 88% more likely to be involved in a near collision? You're 87% more likely to drive 10 miles per hour or more over the speed limit. You're 91% more likely to drift out of your lane, 83% more likely to roll through a stop sign, and you're actually wasting more fuel. On average, 8.4% less miles per gallon you're getting when you're using your phone in any capacity. A study done about 3 years ago showed that 61% of drivers admit to texting while driving. Admit to. Who knows what the real number was 3 years ago, let alone now. It's scary when you think about it. So, anytime a cell phone is involved in an accident, it greatly increases your costs. These costs affect your bottom line and may even make you non-renewable. So what can we do about all this? Well, one big step is to minimize distractions while behind the wheel. Fleetmode allows you to do this with 3 simple components. First, let's talk about what Fleetmode is. Fleetmode is an app that can be downloaded on the driver's phone via an invitation from their manager or through a mobile device management platform. The second component is a Bluetooth hardware device we call a Smart Dot. After a one-time pairing to the app on the phone, the Smart Dot hardware simply sticks in the windshield, you set it, you forget it. Finally, the Fleetmode portal is where managers can monitor compliance, customize their settings, set their mobile device policies, view driver location, and a lot more. Now that we know what Fleetmode is, let's see how Fleetmode works. When the vehicle starts to drive, Fleetmode turns on automatically, allowing navigation to be visible to the driver. Soon after the end of the drive, Fleetmode turns off automatically. There's no need for driver to ever have to interact with the application by turning it on or off manually or in any other fashion. Did you know every time you hear that phone ding or ring, you get a little shot of dopamine? Well, what that is that's your brain telling you that you crave that information that's on your phone, and that ding or ring is the cause of it. It's a powerful temptation that has to be avoided when anyone is driving a vehicle. During the drive, Fleetmode silences all alerts and notifications, allowing the driver not to be distracted from those email, text, and all kinds of other app notifications. Everything is silenced. There's also no keyboard available, so the driver can't even type anything. They can't compose an email or search the web. At the end of the drive, any phone interaction that may occur is sent up through the cloud to the manager portal, allowing the managers for your team to hold your team members accountable. Let's talk about the features of the Fleetmode app, as it's a lot more than just locking down the cell phones. Fleetmode offers a variety of features and customization options to suit your needs. Here are just a few examples. First of all, phone calls are very distracting too. It's not just texts and emails that are disturbing your drivers. Fleetmode blocks all incoming calls, routing them right to voicemail. However, we do offer options, as some of you out there may just find it a necessary need for your business to allow those calls to ring through. So we can actually make that happen and allow all calls to ring through the driver. We can block all calls, as we mentioned, or only allow certain contacts to ring through to the driver while they're driving. And this can be customized down to the fleet level, not just by company. Managers don't want to be bombarded with emails and texts and notifications all day, informing them of their driver's behavior. Fleetmode has built-in self-coaching tools, allowing the driver to correct their behavior before their manager is notified, thus reducing the amount of alerts they receive and just taking a whole lot off their plate. Auto replies can be customized by the company, fleet, or even the driver. These messages inform the sender that the driver is driving and will get back to them when it's safe to do so. If your company does not provide your drivers mobile devices, and the drivers use their own, Fleetmode can actually allow for privacy hours. When enabled, privacy hours ensures that Fleetmode only turns on when a driver is in a vehicle that contains the smart dot hardware they have previously paired to. So, when they're driving their personal vehicle or in any other form of transportation, Fleetmode will not turn on at all. As we mentioned, Fleetmode does allow for navigation to be available, both audibly and visibly to the driver, with all of the other alerts and notifications silenced. 911 is always available while Fleetmode is active as well. So what is a manager's role in the Fleetmode program? Let's talk about that. Look, we know your managers are busy. They don't need one more thing to worry about every day. So the Fleetmode Manager Portal allows you to basically minimize the time you spend on it, and basically gives you full visibility into the behaviors of your entire fleet, but only requires very minimal interaction. The manager can log in and view customized reports, see drivers' real-time location, view their route history, and customize their alert notification settings, all from within the portal. They can easily identify the top offenders of phone interaction by seeing a simple numeric score as well. They can also customize their allow list of contacts that ring through to a driver if you decide to use that feature. And finally, sometimes a manager needs to reach some or all of their fleet for some kind of mass communication. Rather than texting them all individually, from within the portal, there's a tool that exists that gives your manager the ability to text multiple drivers all at once. The driver will, of course, receive this message at the end of their drive, just like any other text message. Now, let's talk about how a large company experienced a reduction in accidents when using Fleetmode. Fleetmode was piloted by AT&T, which happens to have the largest fleet of vehicles in the entire United States. In AT&T's 10 million mile study with Fleetmode, the drivers that were equipped with Fleetmode saw 31% less accidents than those drivers that did not have Fleetmode installed. Those powerful results allowed for the quick decision to expand into all of their vehicles, and even one of AT&T's safety directors was quoted as saying Fleetmode was responsible for a significant change in behavior, and even mentioned that drivers were appreciative that their company cares enough to install Fleetmode. They also like the break from the nonstop communication in their daily lives. Also, one of the largest plumbing companies in the U.S. is wrapping up their pilot now with Fleetmode, and they saw a similar decline in accidents in only a matter of weeks. Don't you think your company can benefit from less accidents? Let's talk about what reductions in accidents equate to in actual savings, and take a look at where the rubber meets the road. Getting your drivers home safe is probably the #1 priority of any organization. Reducing accidents by up to 31% can help do just that. The families of your team members deserve to have their loved ones return home safely each night, don't they? Additional features of the Fleetmode program add to its overall core value. Seeing real-time driver location, route history, proof of usage, and monitoring of the product all add significant value to an already discounted product to Paul Hanson customers. Some of you may be in the market for a solution to know where your drivers are, or maybe where they have been. and you can expect to spend $20, $30 a month per vehicle on something like this. Fleetmode can be a great supplement to any telematics solution, or even a lower cost alternative to what you currently use. With Fleetmode, many features are included with what you need. Fleetmode can also help prevent insurance increases related to accidents. With a reduction in accidents, you can help prevent increases in your insurance. It'll also lower your risk of non-renewal, as Fleetmode is more than just a simple piece of paper from a driver that they sign agreeing that they won't text and drive. It goes above and beyond all that, any mobile device policy. It ensures extra protection for both the driver and the company. Think of all the positive public relations opportunities Fleetmode can provide. Taking a proactive stance of safety affects all of us out there on the roads. Adding Fleetmode to your arsenal only enhances the public perception of your company. Well, everything comes down to cost, am I right? Let's talk about the value you'll receive with Fleetmode. So here's an ROI showcasing potential savings for your company. In this example, we see a fleet of 100 vehicles experiences roughly 15 accidents per year. When you factor in all the direct and indirect costs of an accident, and we have a slide later on in this presentation referring to the examples of these factors, the average accident in the U.S. costs a consumer roughly $40,000. The cost of commercial fleets are even higher, but for this example, we'll keep the number at $40,000. At a deeply discounted price for Paul Hanson customers of $6.99 per device per month, Fleetmode will cost just under $8,400 for a year of service. This cost includes everything, and we'll cover what everything means shortly on the next slide. So when you factor in a potential of reduction in accidents, as you saw on the last slide of 31%, you can expect to be saving over $177,000 in just the first year. This is just one of many reasons your company needs Fleetmode. We understand it's not easy for you to balance your risk and budget, so we try to make it as simple and affordable as possible. By purchasing Fleetmode through Paul Hanson, you pay only $6.99 per device per month. Everything you need comes included in this price. There's no additional hardware fees, which alone is a huge savings of $50 per device. There's no training costs, and any integration into any mobile device management platform you may have is included. And you also get access to features that non-Paul Hanson customers pay extra for. Fleetmode pays for itself in no time. If you'd like a customized ROI calculator to see potential savings for you and your team, please contact us at the information provided here. Let's discuss how Fleetmode can help your company immediately.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. Really appreciate the presentation. And thank you guys for sending your questions in. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of time, so we're only going to go out and take the first couple questions we received. So, Aaron, I'll ask you a couple of them. All right. One of the questions we got here is, does Fleetmode allow GPS to be used?
Yes. Depending on the company's needs, if you want to allow visibility for the driver to see navigation while they drive, they will have full access to the GPS navigation system application of their choice.
Okay, excellent. And got one here. You mentioned that Paul Hanson gets access to premium features. What are those features exactly?
Great question. We have a lot of features that those other customers pay extra for, such as the privacy hour functionality, where if you're worried about tracking your team at night and you want to do that, or on the weekends, we can enable it so that the Fleetmode product only works when they're in their work vehicle. A couple other things we are expanding. We touched a little bit on what we call Virtual Safety Manager, which allows for Fleetmode to take the role of the safety person in your company and basically do the job, help them do their job, taking a lot off their plate. And that program is going to be expanded, and all those new features that will be included within that Virtual Safety Manager will be part of your solution at no additional cost to you. And we also are going to be releasing something exclusive to Paul Hanson customers for speeding alert violations, notifying the manager if there's any speeding violations that occur during a drive. And last but not least, Fleetmode Artificial Intelligence, Fleetmode AI, will be part of your solution as well, which it's very extensive, but to touch on briefly, will allow Fleetmode to interpret incoming text messages, and if they are of importance to your company, then that text message will be read aloud to your driver, allowing them to respond accordingly.
Great. Okay. Next question. What about personal phones? Does Fleetmode work for personal phones?
It absolutely does. Personal devices are really no different than company-issued devices for many reasons. First of all, if the driver is using their personal phone and they cause a distracted driving accident while they're in a work vehicle, the other party is likely going to go after the deep pockets, and that's usually not the driver. So the company is ultimately responsible regardless of who owns the phone. And there's plenty of litigation to back this up, and we can certainly provide more detailed information on this if you desire.
Okay, and we will do one more. Again, guys, I apologize. I wish I could do all the questions, but we'll just kind of wrap it up with one more question here. Does Fleetmode have to be manually turned on each drive?
Great question. No, it doesn't. The driver never has to do anything to interact with Fleetmode, really, during a drive. They don't have to turn it on or off manually whatsoever. The smart dot hardware will take care of that for them.
Excellent. Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for allowing us the time to be able to present you on Fleetmode. The partnership with Paul Hanson is a really valuable one. We believe that we could really help to reduce your insurance costs and bring your accidents down. I know we covered a lot of material, and it seems like a complicated, difficult product. But in reality, Fleetmode is a very simple product to implement. It's a quick and easy solution that'll save you money, keep your guys safe, and really make you an efficient operation. So, again, if you guys have any questions at all, please talk to your Paul Hanson representatives, or you can call us directly at Fleetmode, and our information is provided. So, hope you guys have a wonderful day.